that you remember it's never a circular motion, it's a tapping. And that really makes a huge difference. Once you start that circular motion in anything, what begins to happen is those colors blend, and you end up with like a very muddy color. So it's definitely a method that's been good for me. And I think it prevents you from turning everything into one big muddy color. So where's the red? I think we'll do the red first. If this is the one we're using, let's use this. I end up, believe it or not, some students will just leave their makeup kit here at the end of the semester, and they never come back for it. So I end up with a lot of little pieces that they've forgotten. But it seems to me to be pretty expensive to do that.
It's nice to spread out. It's just.
I'll do a burn up here. We can use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol at the very edges of it, just to blend it in. And this is a cream that I'm using up here, but it will still work. And just by tapping those edges, I get it to blend. So the isopropyl alcohol you can use with the cream as well. Now, to get this to be a really nasty bruise, I'm going to take this right into the dark purple. And remember, a flat brush, if you spin it throughout, you'll get a circle.
Wash your head, Mark.
Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So just by taking the really dark purple and going around there, you get a really nice circle. You can add a little bit more. Here we go. Once we have that, I think what I want to add to that is, depending on how badly it's burned, you can actually get some black and kind of make it look charred. So, yes. It's not black, but it makes this. So it looks like there's a bit of a like cigarette burn or something there. So if I take the darkest purple here, and mix that into that, and tap that in. You guys see?
Yeah.
So just by doing some of that in there, you get edges that are really kind of charred.
So gross.
Right. Turn. Okay. We can add a little bit of yellow if you want, just to see if we get a highlight out of that. And then what you want to be able to do is give it a little bit of dimension. So I'm just going to take the yellow, scoop some out there. I'm not going to need a lot of this, but just a little bit is going to make it have that like rise up kind of thing. Have you heard of rise up coffee? It's a Maryland kind of coffee. There you go. So you got that. So definitely lots of little chart pieces. Okay, what we're going to do is make this a little bit more gross. And I'll take my knife. And
You're gonna dig into it.
go here, just start to push it out a little bit. Really gonna get it pretty dark in there. So by painting the inside of that gash, you really get a sense of the depth of it. It becomes sort of a big black hole.
Oh. Oh, lovely. Wow. Oh, God.
It really just makes it look like it's really in there.
Yeah. And it's the depth of it, which gives that dark color. So by adding the dark color inside it and opening it up, you end up with that sort of like, really nasty thing. Audrey's looking up and going, oh,
It looks like something on Alien.
so we did really bad burn, black eye, adding this. I showed you how to do blisters and things with the latex and stuff. So I wanted to leave a little bit of time to just show you how to add some facial hair. Okay? So normally I would not put any makeup on where I'm doing facial hair. But since this is dry, what I'm going to do is powder and let him just kind of take a break for a second from being poked. Here we go. With this powder process, the makeup will lighten some, but it will usually come through again. So I'm just going to do some facial hair over here. I'm going to do some over here. I'm not going to powder too much on the black eye because what I want is it to look woozy and wet. And Kira, this is another way you can do washes and things. On top of it with powder, it gives it kind of a nice wash look. now, I'm going to take a little bit of the PY jelly. I'm going to make it kind of oozing on his eye so that that stays kind of wet looking. And now for the facial hair. So I'm going to go back to my spirit gum and put this powder. Does anybody have a cap? Like a ski cap kind of thing? So tonight they say is the night we change to winter. So they said it's going down to the high 30s.
Oh, apparently it's supposed to snow.
On Sunday, I think.
It already snowed in the mountains.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. And it like sleeted today for us.
Yeah.
Did it too?
Yeah.
What was it?
A lot of people thought it was hail.
Yeah.
What's
What's the difference between hail and snow?
Hail is like bigger.
Oh.
It's like really. It's like if you picture rocks coming down from the sky, that's what hail is.
Alright, so I'm deciding on like what kind of facial hair to
Well, you
get.
should match it to his hair, so when he takes it down, it looks.
Well, what I was going to do is give him a cap to cover his hair.
Oh, okay.
So we get something that's totally different. This is one that we have used for Santa Claus for toys. But it's going to cover too much of his mouth. So I'm gonna do
It's a grim Santa Claus.
that. Santa got beaten up by a reindeer.
Yeah.
Alright. There's this one.
Oh, yeah. Grandma got Santa's reindeer had them too much.
So funny, when I step it away, there's one side.
Oh, one side.
One side breaks down. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll use this, and show you how you can just stick it on. Make our own. Carrie was saying that you wanted some time with me in the studio again
Yeah.
to practice.
I mean, and then I looked at the thing and realized next week was our
Practice center.
practicing day, and then the one after that was the final.
So will that be enough time, do you think?
Yeah, probably. I think I'm just gonna come in a lot this week and experiment with different things. What's wrong?
Looks like a what?
Like a biker dude.
Yes, it is. Oh, I saw a really great, oh, that's what I wanted to say to you, Mark. I saw a really great example of Bruise makeup in a show I was watching last night.
Which one?
It was called Call the Midwife. It really had
Oh yeah,
like-
they're great. It's a good show.
Yeah,
Or
it's
if you're
great.
like half a step to any side.
What?
Just, yeah. There you go. Keep focusing on your shoulder. Yeah, that's not better.
That's not
No.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry. I know this Nope, that's not it either.
Well, I guess like right.
There's no good way for you to stand on that side.
Oh, okay.
That's like, that's good.
You're so mean to me.
I'm sorry.
It was
I
such
try to
good.
please you, I really do.
Bruise makeup, it was insane because her whole body was kind of covered in these different bruises and swelling, and her whole face was different. And yet, like, I don't know if you've seen the show, but they do like kind of close-up shots.
Yeah.
So it's like has to be really realistic looking. And then she got like in the bath, and they stayed on. Like, there was a bath scene, and they were, and like, I mean.
They didn't come out. They didn't wash off. Yeah.
No.
There's waterproof makeup that you definitely would use for that.
I mean, it wasn't like too vigorous. It wasn't like she was scrubbing at them or anything, but.
So this should be a much cleaner line up here. But I'm having a lot of difficulty doing this from this angle.
I know, sorry. There's no good way with trying to film this.
Right down. Pull this down.
So Martin, in the book, it talked about like using this like heated rod or something, where just pulling it be like safer.
Pulling it with a heated rod?
Yeah, well, it's like the Crepe was like a heated rod, and you just like singe like a little bit to make it like curl or something.
Yeah, there's those are used like it's it's not an electric hair curler. It's one that you heat but it's really small. So you put it in this little heater thing, and it's based on how they were done in like the 18th century. You heat up the things with a coal, like you have a little coal thing, and then you have a box, and in the box is the hair, and you put that hair on the face, and then you curl it, or it's the wig, and you curl the wig. But they're about this thick, and you'll see them with a little stand, and then there's a little oven, and you use that, and it's just a very old-fashioned hair curling iron.
Oh.
Oh my god, you just turned your face, and I just like turned back and looked at you, and I was like, had that moment of like, oh my god, what happened?
So we'll do a little bit more down here. Some bruising underneath it as well. Great. There's the curly hair. Get a straight line here, trimming it off. Using the back of my brush to make sure I tap that down. Kind of creepy looking. And then just over here. And put a little bit of spirit on this. And this is nice. It's kind of tacky early. And this goes up here.
Wow.
And that's it.
Since you've never looked better.
But facial hair really
It's not
changes
really
its whole
salty, and it
character.
does not need to be salty.
cool. We'll let that dry. Maybe a picture of it. That gash is pretty nice. I want to try something with the gash. A little bit yellow. And just highlight a little bit in there. Ew. There you go. That kind of pops the bum up. What do you think? There we go. Pull the bandeau down a little bit on your head. Yeah. You do look kind of like a biker. So, yeah. So that's pretty cool. I wish we had a baseball cap. I have one in stock, but I don't want.
Put the wig on, dude. Oh wait, no, it's not gray. Never mind.
Huh?
That would have been cool. We had like a gray wig.
No, we have the dark gray. I have gray wigs downstairs, but we got. I'll show you. You take a bandit off. Oh, you know what? I was gonna say. So you can drop that way. It's already gone. So if we do this forward.
Oh yes.
Quentin is just gone now.
Oh my god, he really is just gone.
Where did he go? Wait, pull.
Oh my god. He looks like a messed up like Captain Hook. I feel like he's
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
what I
get
was
a
saying.
wallet.
He's like,
Another Trump card.
Yeah.
right, like he looks like
You should see the other guy. Alright. So it shows you how completely that changes.
oh Jesus.
Oh god.
Wow. There's so many looks going on here.
Yeah.
So many things happening.
And the thing about it is you can change it. It changes really fast if you do it. Like if I did a different mustache, it would totally change it. Yeah. So that's kind of fun. Let me do this.
I wonder.
Pull the front. I'm going to just put this on the top. We'll put that bottom on your forehead. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, now he's the real one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right, and that's like another look. But when I did, when
Now
I
do
did,
it like make it like a top knot. The whole.
so
Yeah.
what's amazing about
It's going.
those kind of wigs? It's great if you have a wig that has a ventilated hairline. You know, those are obviously the best. But when I did Sweet Charity, I was completely like faced with this enormous cast, and all the guys had to be in this like hippie hair. So I took every wig we had, I brushed them out, put it on. The hairline looked awful, but then we did all these bandanas to cover it. So you can use those wigs, but you have to find a way to deal with that hairline. So you have to cut it and trim it and make it look pretty, or you just color it. You know, and that's another way to deal with it. But this wig is beautiful, so you get to see that hairline right there. And when you put a wig on, you pin it twice at the forehead, here, and at the front of the ear, in the back of the ear, and then about 3 in the lower back, until that actor says, oh yeah, I feel secure. All right. So let's take a picture of this. And I guess it's not there, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay.
The hair looks so real too.
Yeah.
Wednesday, that's
bright
your color,
here.
dude. Just like dye your hair.
So like looking from a distance, from back here. Right. Will you growl?
Yeah.
I feel like his teeth are too nice. Like, it's just, I don't
No,
know.
we
The
can-
contrast.
Gravel.
Do me a favor, I'll give you some blood, you can just like put it in your mouth.
Oh.
Oh.
It tastes like
It
mint.
tastes like mint over.
That's what you're just mint. Right, now put it on your, like rub it on your teeth. There.
Oh no.
Oh, dude, it's so much worse.
You happy now?
Yes,
There you go.
You keep wiping it off.
That looks great. Yeah, I think we did something that would definitely read on stage. The one thing that I think I want to change is your eyebrow. So hold on, because the hair is dark. So I'm going to. Does anybody have a sharp pencil that's black?
That's one.
Like a drawing pencil?
Yeah, no, eyebrow pencil.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what we got. Mine just broke, so this might be a little light. Do you have one, Amy?
It's not like sharp.
That's right. I'm sure it'll be okay. It's just been enough. Yeah. Alright. So, what's the difference here? If I darken this, it really begins to frame what's below it. See the difference?
Yeah.
Wow.
Alright. Like that. That's really much better. You can really see that now. It frames the face. I'm going to do a line around your lower eye here. Just kind of a smudge line. A little bit darker than that. Now we don't have to worry about it. You see your other one? Close your eye. Look at you here. Alright. See the difference in his eyes? Yeah. So the focus now is really good. Great on his eyes, so you can get that. And he's obviously been through a battle.
They're sad and questioning.
Alright. Any comments, questions? What do you think? So you've learned how to do bullet holes with latex, where you like get underneath it, you pick it up and you pull it in, you paint inside of it. You've learned how to do the latex on top of the cotton balls, or latex on top of tissue. You know, so you've got those as well. You've got burns. Remember, if you're doing burns that are just first-degree burns, it's just red. And then you get a blister, that's the second-degree burn. And then when you get a char, that's third. So there's 3 different levels of burn. So you keep making it darker, and ultimately it chars, right? And that's where you add blood. So you've got a lot of different things now. You know, the cuts and bruises. You know, obviously that's a bone that's gotten swollen, and then I've cut it down. So you want to make sure that as you're working, that it definitely has the same kind of skin tone, but it's just bigger. So using the scar wax there, how does it feel on your face? Is it secure?
Yeah, it feels secure.
And that's the Bondo. Anything like, you could do spirit gum, you could do latex, but if you've got Bondo around the edge of that, that's not going anywhere. And in terms of texture and face, what do you think?
I think it looks good.
It what?
Looks good. It looks good.
You know, I like the contour of the spray. So it gives your face a nice little, like, you can focus on the shadows with that, which is cool.
Is the hair stuck to the thing, to the wound, or is it just sticking up there?
The hair stuff. What? Which hair?
brown hair. I can't tell from
In
the
the waves
screen.
or where?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it just should,
I thought
it
it was
should be
like stuck in
forward,
it.
that's all. You know, it's moved back a little, so we're seeing some of his blonde hair. But I think all these different techniques are things that you can utilize and, you know, pick with your design what you're gonna work on, you know, and the 3D part of it becomes pretty important. And in your character, you know, show me that you're using the techniques that you've learned in class and applying them in whatever way you want. So I think you're pretty good to go. So you can stop that. And